What's up? Happy Fandom Friday! So Fandom Friday is our segment where we drink wine, yas, and talk about our favorite nerdy, geeky, awesome, sauce, fun things. And today we're going to talk a little bit about, I know some of us are stuck in home, hanging with the fam bam, and looking for some other fun things to do to pass the time. So we normally talk about anime, we talk about manga, we talk about Harry Potter. What else?
Games.
All sorts of things. But today we're going to talk about games. Way to take away the intrigue and the mystery.
I meant video games specifically.
Video games, but we're going to talk about board games. Things you can do with
when
you're bored with your fam bam. Yeah! So for those who don't know who we are, I am Tiara, aka T, your wine diva. I love to help you find wines that you are going to love and live a fun-filled, wonderful life. And you, who are you and what do you do?
I'm LAJ. I play games, and I'm here for my expertise.
You're here for your expertise. Can you
expertly take away my power?
Your powers, because the glare is bothering me. All right, so we're gonna share some of the games that we enjoy. I pulled some of the ones
Some
of my favorites. We have a very extensive collection for some odd reason. I don't know. I feel like we have so many games over there that we don't even play. But pulled out some games that we could talk about so you can learn maybe something new to have fun with your crew. So let me know, do you enjoy playing board games? And if so, what's your favorite ones? Drop it below. If you find this video helpful in any way, shape, or form, would love it, so appreciate it if you would share a name, type a name in the comments, or even share this video out, because sharing is caring and it helps boost the algorithm. We're in front of the TV and my TV keeps moving on the screen and I'm like, where's the remote? So I think I'm sitting on it. I don't know what's going on, but we're having fun. So first things first, what do we have here? Ooh, what is this? Can you read it? I took his glasses.
Took away my powers. I've been stripped of the powers of the Black
Panther. This game, it is still wrapped up in its shrink wrap, and it is the epic spell wars of Epic Spell Wars of the Battle Wizards Melee at Murder Shroom Marsh. So this is an expansion of a game that we like to play that is just the original epic battle. Is it really called that? Epic Spell Wars of the Battle Wizards?
Keep going.
Duel at Mount Squivelville? What does that say? There's a lot of consonants and not any vowels. Skullfire. Is that a U? That looks like a V to me. Yeah, Skullfire. That makes sense. So, in this game, you are building.
Vanna Black.
Vanna Black over here. Thanks, babe. So for this game, you are actually building a spell. So it's a card game. And I guess I can pull out some cards.
It's also a great drinking game.
All of our games are great drinking games, because you know what we do? We drink a lot of wine. We also drink a lot of whiskey.
And we play things.
And a lot of booze, and we play things. So you've got this card, and it's like your life card. And it also says who you are, whatever your character is. So you pick a character. I don't know if you can really see it with all the kind of diva-like glare going on. But you have life. Everyone starts off at 20, and then there are ways to add life or lose life points throughout the course of the game. One of our rules that it's not really a rule for the game itself, but it should be. It should be. So we like to. Are you usually Jung? Is that who you are?
I switch it up.
I'm
Pister usually.
Pister the pissed off. Zanzibar. But we like to do.
Trying to find your character.
Yeah, I found my character now. We like to pick. Everyone has to have a voice, and so when you cast your spell, which are made up of these kind of cards, and there's 3 different layers to the cards.
There's 3 different parts to the spell. There's your beginning, middle, and your end.
Yeah, and so we make you read it out with your character's voice. So where's she at?
Casting the spell.
Like you're casting the spell. So I typically pick up Fanny Ticklebottom, the Enchanter. And I feel like it's an evil leprechaun, so I use
my dreams.
my evil leprechaun voice for it, and I say, the tickle bottom casts the bezeled mint, whatever my cards say, and I do that, and Jay gets very perturbed by what I say and disturbed by that. So, how do you feel about the epic wizard battles? Can you hold my
I
line?
think it's a great game. It's short and sweet. So I feel like there's different types of games, and this one's one of those where like each round is pretty quick.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Yeah, it's quick, easy, it's fun. I think it's easy to pick up, so this is a fun one. I feel like most, if not all of these games can be found on Amazon. Shameless plug
Most
for Amazon.
definitely.
Amazon, get your
Here,
Prime
I'll take-
on.
We can stock the.
Stock over
Well,
here.
I didn't
All right.
stock it right.
I know. I was trying to do it quick, fast, and in a hurry. All right. Onward to the next one. I feel like this is a big time, huge game, and I'm going to need you to explain this guy right here. This game of Dominion.
I feel like you gotta save some gravitas.
Dominion. Dominion. Building your Dominion. So explain Dominion. You can fix that later.
I
Just
can't.
look up.
Everything's
Look up.
going to be in
Just
a
take-
pile and trashed, and we won't be able. And something's gonna spill, and we'll play a 52 card pickup with 52 games.
Okay. Well,
But
explain Dominion, please.
Dominion is a card building game.
Mhm.
So the goal of the game is to have the most property. So there's different cards that gives you different things to do during your turn. I think you draw 5 per turn. And then basically you're trying to get monies to buy stuff, and buy stuff to get more actions, to buy more property. But then the game ends when either there's 3 different levels of property. There's 1 point, 3 points, and 5 points. So whenever 2 of those columns are up, or 3 the action columns. So it's one of these interesting games where the ending, like the beginning and ending, isn't necessarily set.
Yeah, so it's a
Changes.
great strategy game because there's a myriad of cards, and it's a deck building game, so you can build your deck with your coins and your whatever and use all of that throughout the course of the game to hopefully end up with the most amount of estates, property, and monies to win. Money! Give me money! So, that is Dominion.
Yeah, I feel like most games, like, they're very clear on when it's gonna end, but Dominion, it can just come out of nowhere.
There's a
sometimes.
strategy to it, which I really like. The side of this game says it takes 30 minutes to play, but I feel like we always take about an hour.
It just depends on if you're playing with experienced people or not.
I think we have a lot of people that like to think things out. I'm going to save this one for last because I think there's a fun story attached to it. All right, this is a new game that we've recently picked up.
Best game.
And I have no idea how you say it. Anemia.
My favorite game.
Anemia. It is super fun. So this is a game for, actually Dominion is for 2 to 4 players. I was talking about games with my mom earlier, and she was like, we need something to do, like her and my dad wanted to be able to play games together, and they were looking for a recommendation. And it looks like Dominion can be played with 2 people. Although I feel like it's one of those games that you need at least one person that knows what they're doing and involved in the whole like process. Otherwise, it's like terrifying. So
This is also another one that's not gonna stack right if you hold it.
I'm oh hush.
It's gonna spill out.
No, it's not. Everything is fine. Everything is happy. So Anemia for 3 to 5 people. Is that what I just read?
It's already
3 to
spilled.
6 people. It's fine. It's all good in the neighborhood. Here you go. Hold it.
Thank you.
And so for this game, what you're doing, Jay, you explain it. Because
Really?
you haven't talked at all. You don't need to hold it up
I
anymore
explained
because
the
it's changing.
last game.
No, go ahead. Tell us how it's done.
So basically, everybody gets their own pile, and they're gonna flip up a category. And if your category matches somebody else's category, then you have to name something in their category first. And it's kind of like weird because no matter how many times you play it, you always forget that you have to name their category and not yours. And then it just becomes one of those like, and you shout at each other.
It's a
and
thinker.
It's
It's a thinker. It's great. So like if you're flipping cards, so you're flipping your card when it's your turn up, and so there's different symbols on all of the cards. So like I flip my card, and let's say I have a yellow diamond, and then Jay has a card that has a yellow diamond that's already face up on the board or on the table. Then it's like a flip up, and we're supposed to be able to see it at the same time because it's a race to say who can say the other person's like card style, like Jay said, category first. So if my yellow diamond, I'm thinking about Steven Universe now. If my yellow diamond says, I don't know, Beatles character, or not characters, like members of the Beatles, and Jay's is books, I flip my card over, we have to race to see who's gonna say it first. So like if Jay says books and I flip mine over and I'm like Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone really quickly, then I would win if I said it before Jay. Do you know a Beatles member?
Paul McCartney.
I thought that's what you were gonna say.
Ringo Starr.
I actually thought you were gonna say John Lennon next, actually. So look at you, proud of you.
Yep.
All right, so that one's really good. That's a lot of fun, and it makes you think. And I feel like it can be played over and over and over again. And you're gonna hear different categories, hear different things, all sorts of fun stuff. So next one up, even though this place is closed down, I had a lot of friends tell me that their spring break plans are now over and done with because this place has closed for the time being with the virus going around. And so this game is actually for 2 to 6 players, ages 10 and up, about an hour to play, and it is Disney Villains. I really want to be Ursula one day in my afterlife. But yes.
Your afterlife.
My afterlife, not my afterlife. Calm down. Don't try to get rid of me sooner rather than later. But Ursula is one of the characters that you can play in this game. And so the purpose of this game is to complete your evil doings while thwarting other people from completing theirs. So you have each person has their own themed based off of their own
theme board
character. So you have your own personal board, so you can have your Ursula board, or we also have the expansion. I don't know if I pulled that over here. I did not. But so like in the original box, there's Ursula, there's Prince John from Robin Hood, Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland, Captain Hook, Peter Pan, Maleficent, and Jafar. Jafar. And so all of these characters have some sort of magical quest that I don't know why it's got to be magical, but you know what? It's Disney, and Disney is magical in my world. So they all have some sort of quest that they need to complete, and then you're completing your quest while thwarting your rivals from completing their own before you do.
Yeah, the interesting thing in that one is everybody's like
villainous.
The thing that they're planning to do is so different. Some people just collect money, some people try to kill people, some people just try to like protect their area.
Yeah, it's really interesting, but whatever your, what do you call it, your I said the word.
Nemesis?
Not your nemesis, whatever your goal is, there we go. Your quest, so to speak, it all is themed back to who you are as a character. So like if, Ursula's, I do believe it's like stealing the Triton or something like that. I think it has something to do with that. Mm-hmm. While like Prince John he needs to collect all the money or something like that. So
let's get rich.
That is his thing. And so it's easier to play if you kind of have an idea of what the other person has to do. But yeah, your strategy changes up based off of that. All right. The next one, I feel like teaches you all about economy. Am I wrong?
I thought it just taught you about longest roads.
Building longest roads, having the largest army. If you know what we're talking about, drop it below. But this next game is for how many people?
2 to 4.
2 to 4. Are you sure? Did you see it?
I played it enough.
You've played it enough. Jay has played it with his family. This has been a Christmas 3 to 4.
Oh. He wrong.
It should be. It takes about an hour to complete. I feel like this is also a game that takes quite long with your family. I think because we all have so many things that we want to do. Like I really appreciate building the longest road. Every time I play, I also appreciate. No, I think that's just like my main thing. Like I'm not someone that's like, let me get all the sheep, or building Sheep Town, or Brick Town or whatever. I feel like I'm pretty open to where I want to lay my head, so to speak. Yeah. What is your strategy?
To win.
We play to win. This is also one of the only games that I've ever like consistently beat Jay in. Cut time! Settlers of Catan or Catan, based off of depending on who you are and who you are and how you say things. I feel like that would be
a tomato person or a tomato.
A tomato.
I've never met anybody that says tomato, but maybe
you don't know any Brits, do you?
I should just start it just to see how people react around me.
They would be like, but you're not British.
I don't even know if people know it's a British thing.
I think a lot of people know. Anyone that's met like a Brit knows that they say tomato and potato.
When do you talk about tomatoes to Brits?
And you're like, hey, what do you want?
British dish even has a tomato?
You're like, oh, what do you want on your salad? And they're like, I want a tomato.
Did you not?
They're like, I want avocado,
like,
avocado and tomato. Yes. Very good. Yeah. Jolly good. That was like my man dark laugh.
Dexter's Lab?
Yeah.
Wow.
Mandark.
Super throwback.
That
would be a cosplay.
Oh, that's a good Friday, Fandom Friday. What do you think? Future Fandom Friday, talking about some throwback Cartoon
There's
Network.
Literally only one thing that I think of when you say Dexter's Lab.
What? Some omelette de fromage.
Of course.
Omelette de fromage. All right. This final game, and we have plenty of other games. If you ever want some tips and tricks and ideas of games to play with your family, shoot us a message. We are happy to help. Although I didn't play a whole lot of games growing up, but I was also raised as an only child. So I didn't have a lot of friends. I'm just kidding. I had plenty of friends. I don't know why. We played outside or whatever.
That's overrated.
But Jay's played a lot of games with his Bam Bam, and since we've been together, I've played a lot of games in the last almost 7 years. I win. So this final game, speaking of being together almost 7 years, almost ended our relationship. Ended quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Luckily, I was able to survive the dagger in my back. Barely.
So
missed the vital point.
I missed a vital point. All right. So without revealing what game this is, please tell us the story. Where's Bob when you need him? Oh my gosh,
He tells
the story so good.
We went in together as a couple. We went to a friend's gaming night, and we were a little bit later, and a couple other people were later with us. So we were like, hey, pick a game over here and play with them. And, when everybody finishes, we'll do a group game after that. We're like, great. What is this game? We play it. We think it's we read through the rules. Somebody explains it to us okay, you got to get through 10 levels. We can do this. Things you could progress in. But then, it starts to slow down a little. And we're like, all right, let's just try to make this in so we can keep on with game night. We'll support each other. There's 4 or 5 people in the game. We're like, all right, we'll just,
form an alliance.
We'll form, that's what I thought we were forming. Alliance. And lo and behold, I get to level 9. And I'm there. And we can finally end the game. I'm like, all right, get into level 10. And generally you go around and say, all right, so anybody do anything? Other people are like, oh man, no, that was a hard fought one. That was good. It's maybe 20 minutes in at this point.
I feel like we had been playing probably
this point was 20 minutes in.
No, this game.
I'm saying at this point, and then you're like, nah, sorry, babe.
No, I'm saying
it was we were playing somebody for 40 minutes. That draw 4 right when you uno'd. That was what it was like. And then they did it to you next turn. That's what it felt like.
Oh, babe. So,
and then we played for 2 more hours. Because then we were in an all-out civil war, and nobody could let anybody win. And alliances came up, they fell down. My brother went to sleep. He woke back up and almost won. I barely stopped him. I don't even remember who won.
Oh, no. I feel like probably the game was already an hour in. And then, so the way Bob tells it,
we should have been at the end, and it ended up being a third of the game.
So the way Bob tells it, which is great, it's a friend of ours, and he was playing the game with us, and he was like, I watched as they formed this alliance, and then I realized before Jay realized that the alliance was that Tiara, as long as Tiara wins, it's fine, but if Jay tries to win, it's not gonna work. And I don't know, it just something triggered, and like I was like, Jay can win, and then I was like, nope, I gotta win. It's gotta be me. And I thought, this is when I realized in our relationship that Jay can be, I don't know, petty.
This is also when I realized we should just not be on the same team.
Yeah, this is the start of us almost never pairing together in a game. Like, very rarely do we have each other's back.
That's because you were so salty an hour later when I stopped you from winning. You're like, what? I thought we were together.
I thought you were over it.
You were so hurt.
I thought we had moved on. It had been an hour. And you were so, like, I felt like you were targeting me at that point. Like, not just, like, trying to...
Because you were about to win.
Not just trying to end the game.
I wasn't, because I was trying to win.
So, anyways, as you can tell, if you guys are very competitive...
The best part, though, is our then roommate, Eddie, like... halfway through the game, he's like, I give up. I'm just gonna do everything in my power to make my brother win. And I was like, anybody can win but my brother, because he was being super annoying. But by that time, he came back in, and then he was just like, I'm going for it full through. I'm like, why would you do this? Now this is even more of a war. Like, I have to do literally everything in my power to make sure this doesn't happen.
Yeah, so we were trying to keep Brandon from winning, because he couldn't. I think he did win that game, though.
He probably did.
I think he did. But anyways... So this game is called Munchkin.
It's the most unassuming game.
The most unassuming, happy-looking characters, kind of goofy little dorky characters.
Bloodbath.
But it's a bloodbath. It's a war. If you like competition, if you like civil war, if you like two households torn apart, Shakespeare, drama. Munchkin's your game. Also Monopoly, but that's because Jay's family plays like they're from. If you've ever seen the TV show Blackish,
is appropriate.
It is 100. Like I thought, like seeing that episode, I was like, people don't do this. And then I had never played Monopoly with Jay's family, and then we played Monopoly, and
look, you gotta play Monopoly so the game can end,
bruh.
Nobody does that by being nice.
Savage.
Monopoly's
like I'm trying to imagine this is why Jay's probably really good with money, because he had his parents were just like, nah son, I'm taking your hundo, you can't do that, and these aren't the rules, you can't pair up with this person. Oh, you said you were gonna make that deal, well you're making that deal, now give me my money. Ha!
Yeah, it all stemmed from that one summer when Mo, I think my sister was maybe like 6. We were at an auntie's, and we didn't have cable before, so we ended up watching a bunch of Nick Jr. and Nickelodeon over the summer, and we'd be like on the couch, and we were bored. So we were like, hey, I bet you the face is gonna turn green. If you know, you know.
If you've watched Nick Jr., you know. Face changes
so we
colors.
made a bunch of like bets. We started doing some air shaking. Like first it was like full on shaking, but then it was just like a thing. So I think she ended up coming down off that summer like $8.50 down. Like
$8.50.
Fortune to kids. But then my parents picked her up and we got back, and I was like, hey, break open that piggy bank. And she's like, no. She went crying to my parents. They're like, did you make the bet? Yeah, but it's my money. Like, did you agree to it? Yeah. Well, if you have to pay. She like cried the whole time. She handed me over the money.
You're so mean.
So, yeah,
the meanest older brother ever.
How am I mean? Just because she guessed wrong.
And you left her in the car.
That's a time for another story. Another story for another time.
I'll see you in November. Sorry. I'm airing her laundry, sorry. Okay, Mo, if you ever see this, love you. Alright. So those are some of our recommendations.
That's literally why she doesn't gamble though.
You're such a jerk. For your Corona care package, this is what I recommend to, keep from being so bored, is playing these board games. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you got some ideas. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications, all of that jazz, and have an awesome sauce for the rest of your day. What?
Did you title this Anti-Board Games?
Anti-board games. Ah, that's a great idea. I can always retitle it. Cheers.